In this video, I want to share some common problems which people will face while solving CTFs and how can you overcome such problems. So if you are into CTFs or if you plan to solve them in the future, watch this video till the end because it will be really helpful. Now, before beginning, what I want to say is that CTF is one of the best way to learn hacking and it will give you a lot of confidence because it is completely practical and safe. Now, in this video, I'll discuss in really great details why CTFs are amazing and how can you learn hacking through it and what are the common problems you will face for sure. So, let me tell you that before I even begin, I have written an article on Medium. So if you haven't read it, go and read this. Basically, this article contains my complete path, my complete journey, and all the things I've learned in 1.5 years. And how can you learn all those things? I've also shared a lot of resources, and these are super helpful. And I've also mentioned what I plan to learn in the future. So the thing is, I'm still learning. There are a ton of things I have to learn and I'm still learning. So go and read this article. I'll drop the link in the description, and even if you go to the about section of my channel, you will find the link, and you will also find the link of our Discord group. So let's begin. Now if you go to my article, you will see that I've mentioned CTFs. So in the beginning, I've mentioned some good topics like I've covered the syllabus of CEH and all those other topics. Now by then you have a decent idea of how things work and your concepts are cleared. Now the part comes which is basically step 3 of my article. In this I have mentioned about starting solving CTFs. So CTFs are amazing, and if you are a beginner, you should definitely solve them after gaining a decent knowledge. So in this list, I've mentioned 16 or 17 CTFs. All these CTFs are from a website called OneHub, and I'll show you. So these are some really amazing CTFs, and these are not very basic CTFs, and a lot of them are OSCP level CTFs. So these are a bit difficult, and as you move on, it will get challenging. So this is what is amazing about this list, and you will learn something new in every CTF. Now, if you ask me how can you learn, how can you start solving CTFs and what are the common problems you will face? This is the main title of the video. Now, even before you begin this list, what I would suggest is you go and solve a really easy CTF. Maybe try Metasploitable 2, solving Metasploitable 2, and there is an easy CTF called Mr. Robot CTF. So it's really easy, and you can find the walkthrough or basically the solution on YouTube. Now, suppose you will begin with Bulldog. So you install Bulldog and you set it up on VMware, and you start solving it, and you have no idea what to do, and in the beginning you will have no idea what to do, and it will be a bit tough. So what you should do is go and search for the write-up. If you are unable to find the answer, go and search for the write-up. This is also called a walkthrough. Now this is how you should solve a CTF. So you start solving it and you are stuck somewhere. Try your best, give it a few hours. Don't be tempted to go and read the walkthrough. Try it more, and when you are still unable to solve it, go and read the walkthrough. Now, when you read the walkthrough, you will understand what you have to do, XYZ step. Don't read the walkthrough completely, just focus on the part where you are stuck, currently where you are stuck. So read the walkthrough, you will find what the solution is. Now go back to the CTF and carry on. Now this is how you have to solve it. Don't be tempted to read the walkthrough. I know, the biggest problem you will face is that you have no idea what to do. You will wonder how does this guy know how to do XYZ step. I don't have any idea. So this is a really common thing, and just keep calm. It's completely fine. We all face it. In the beginning, we all face it. So just read the walkthrough and carry on with the CTF. Again, when you are stuck, try it a lot of times. Even if you want, you can give it a day to try, and if you are unable to solve it, go and read the walkthrough. Now, if you go to YouTube, you will also be able to find some walkthroughs. Those are also helpful, but it's really, I mean, you will see that there are some channels which have given walkthrough videos of CTFs, and they have not explained anything, and they are playing background some EDM music in the background, which is really annoying. So if you can go and find a video of the walkthrough of the CTF, and you will be able to understand what that guy is doing. So basically, the quick answer is don't be tempted to go and completely read the walkthrough a lot of times. I mean, try your best, and if you are unable to find the solution or the answer, go and read the walkthrough. You will also feel good when you are stuck in a place and you are able to solve it after so many hours. So this is basically the correct way to solve CTF. Because what a lot of people do is that they read the complete walkthrough and then they solve it again, they see the walkthrough. So basically you are trying to cheat. This is what is happening, and you will not learn anything. And when you go and sit and try solving these CTFs, you will learn to be patient, and you will learn not to get tempted to find the answers and all that. So this is the correct way to solve these list of 15 or 16 CTFs which I have mentioned. And when you solve a CTF, it will get hard. After each CTF, things will get harder. But as I said, the good part of solving this list is that you will learn something new in every CTF. And at the end of the CTF, you will see there is a thing called privilege escalation. So privilege escalation basically means that you take advantage of a misconfiguration or something in the system, and you escalate or level up your privileges from a user to a root. I mean, you go from a normal user in a system to a super user or a root. Getting familiar and getting good with privilege escalation will take time, and at the end of each CTFs, you will have to privilege escalate and reach the super user or the root. So what I want you to do is, whenever you come across a new way of escalating privilege, or if you learn something, what you can do is you can try to make some notes. I mean, at least what you can do is write a blog or write a note somewhere how you did it and what was the exact way in which you escalated the privilege and how did it happen. And this is it, because you will see that the method of privilege escalation is different everywhere. So this is what I want to tell you. And another problem you will face for sure is while solving CTFs. Even in Bulldog 2, you will see that you need bash scripting knowledge or programming knowledge, or in one CTF you will also need the knowledge to make some small exploits. So I mean, if you are a beginner, and I see mostly people who try solving and who get started with CTFs, they don't have much knowledge of programming. So what you can do is you can read the article and at least try to understand the part of programming, what is happening. And if you are unable to understand, skip that part of programming, but make sure to learn programming after finishing this list. Because the simple answer is, if your question is programming important for penetration testing? Put this in your head that the simple answer is yes. Now, even a simple Linux command that you run in your terminal is a program. So you should know that programming is really important in penetration testing. I don't care if you want to be into bug bounty or even into penetration testing or whatever, you need to learn programming. You can skip it from now for now, but in the future you should surely go and learn it. If you are into bug bounty, at least pick up a web language and learn it. And one language I highly recommend you guys to learn is Python, because it's super helpful and it is really good for automating stuff even in web part of penetration testing. So what I have planned is that in the future I can try making walkthrough of all these 16 CTFs and tell you why I'm doing X or Y to Z and how I'm doing it. I mean, why I'm doing something and how I'm doing something and what is the reason why I'm doing this step. So this will be really helpful and you can find the walkthrough online, but it will be really helpful if I solve these 15 CTFs and teach you guys and why I'm doing something and how can you solve it. So this is something I plan to do in the future and yeah, that is it. So what I'm trying to say is that write-ups and articles are really helpful because you will find various ways of solving something or attacking something. So there are maybe suppose something is running in this server. So there are 5 or 6 ways to. I mean, suppose there is a step one in a CTF. There may be 5 6 different ways to solve step one. So this is how CTFs work, and there are various ways to do the same thing. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys, and this is the correct way to solve a CTF if you are a beginner and if you want to self-learn things. So yeah, that's it, and coming to something really helpful for you guys. And I also wanted to talk about Hack the Box. So I would suggest that you start with these 16 or 17 CTFs from Valna because you can easily download it and solve it offline. And you can also try some Hack the Box easy machines as a beginner, and you can then move on to medium and hard ones. But you need some. I hope you know about the retired machines and all those stuff of Hack the Box. So machines keep retiring and there are some free, but you have to pay for the membership, but it's bang for buck. But I would suggest that you start with Valna. It's really good, and Try Hack Me is also good, and you will find a lot of machines free boxes on Try Hack Me. And however, there is a lot of hand holding while solving CTFs. I mean, they will give you hints and stuff. So that is one thing. And another thing I wanted to talk about is that if you are into CTFs, these are some really helpful channels. This channel is IPSec. So this guy is amazing. He has solved hundreds of CTFs. You can see there are specific CTFs for Windows and Linux and all those stuff. And they are also into categories like easy, medium, and hard. And some of these, this guy actually solves Hack the Box machines. I mean boxes. So you can also check out his channel. It's super helpful. And there is another guy called John Hammond. He is into a lot of CTFs and he is really good with Python, and he uses a lot of Python while solving CTFs. So CTFs and Python for this guy, CTFs and Python go hand to hand, and it's really helpful. So you can see that this guy has immense knowledge and he has been in this field for 4 or 5 years, and these guys are still solving CTFs and making videos on it. So you will hear a lot of people saying that CTFs are not helpful, they are not real life and all that. What I want to tell them is that you will see that if you go to this guy's channel, Live Overflow, you will see he has made 2 videos. CTFs are terrible and CTFs are awesome. So I'll tell you the thing. There are a lot of CTFs which are very basic and which are there is no point of solving it. For example, I'll tell you that suppose there is a CTF and it is giving you answers. Go to this port, do this and all that. In real life, this will not happen. However, CTFs are really helpful for even giving you the methodology or the enumeration idea and logic while solving maybe bug bounty or doing some real life stuff. And this is why CTFs are really good and preferred, and it totally depends on what CTF you are doing. So the simple thing I want to throw out is that if you are wasting time solving very basic and easy CTFs in which you are not learning things and they are noobish kind of CTFs, you will not learn much. And those are also not real life, but there are some really good CTFs which will give you the idea and methodology and how to go about things, and those are really helpful and you will learn a lot by solving CTF, and they are also helpful in bug bounty and other stuff. So the simple answer is, if people like Live Overflow, John Hammond and IPSEC are solving CTF, there is a reason why they are doing it. So CTFs are really good and you should definitely solve them, and you will learn a lot by solving CTF. And if you want to learn the real thing, and if you want to learn the practical stuff, you should start solving CTF, and this is all I have to say. So do check out this article, I'll drop the link in the description, and this is all I have to say. And I also wanted to tell you guys that I mean, people keep asking me the same thing: how to learn hacking, is programming important, which laptop should I buy? And from now on, I'm really sorry, but I won't answer such questions. If you have some, I mean, if you go to my channel and you go to the description or the about section, you will see that I've dropped all the links and I've mentioned everything in my video, and people keep asking me the same stuff which I have already made 2-3 videos on. So I really don't like answering the same thing again and again, and I won't answer the same thing. So if you want to learn hacking, you can go to this article and check out my path. It is a Medium article and link is in the description, and all links are in the about section of my channel. So this was it for today, and tell me what do you think about CTFs? Are CTFs really helpful, and what do you like and dislike about CTF? And so that's it. Signing out, Zeus.